Hello and welcome to Dingoes 8 My Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.
This week we're talking about the episode Doppelgangland. It was good.
Starring Willow. And Willow.
Willow and Vampire Willow. It's good. This episode originally aired February 23rd, 1999. So in this episode, Anya unsuccessfully entreats, I think you pronounce it D'Hoffryn, to restore her demonic powers. Principal Snyder browbeats Willow into turning basketball star Percy West into, not failing. At Giles' request, Willow hacks into Mayor Wilkins' files. When Faith finds out, she alerts the mayor of this intrusion. Wilkins presents Faith with a fully furnished apartment and then tells her he has plans to have Willow killed. She even gets a PlayStation.
I know.
As she
awesome.
gets a PlayStation, she can play some Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Okay. Percy makes it clear that his idea of tutoring is that Willow should do all of the homework, and Willow does not correct him. Frustrated and unhappy, Willow then quarrels with Buffy and Xander and storms off. Buffy, I'm storming off. You can't come with me.
Yeah. Kind of defeats the purpose.
Willow assists Anya with the spell, but their conjuration goes awry, summoning Willow from the Wish, rather than retrieving the magic amulet Anya sought. Neither Anya nor Willow realizes the consequences of their spell. Vampire Willow goes to the bronze where she fights with Percy, throwing him across the pool table, and shows her vampire face to Xander and Buffy. Two vampires sent by the mayor to attack her, but she turns them to her side by breaking the one dude's fingers.
Who's your boss?
Who do you work for?
The mayor.
Now who do you work for?
You?
Good.
Buffy and Xander tell Giles that Willow has been killed and turned vampiric, but the genuine Willow arrives to demonstrate their error.
Hey, who died?
But you're alive, aren't I normally?
Stay back!
Angel and Anya drop into the bronze. Vampire Willow and her new minions arrive and capture the crowd. Angel escapes to find Buffy. Anya recognizes what has happened, offers to restore Vampire Willow to her own world in return for help retrieving her amulet, and suggests capturing the other Willow to assist in the spell. Angel, Buffy, and Xander head for the bronze, but Willow, turning back to get the tranquilizer gun, is captured by her doppelganger. Willow shoots the vampire. The others arrive back in the library. They lock the unconscious vampire in the library cage, and Willow exchanges clothes with her in an attempt to pass herself off as Vampire Willow.
Yeah.
This is kind of confusing.
Indeed.
They return to the bronze. Cordelia arrives at the library and unwittingly releases Vampire Willow, who immediately attacks her.
Well, after the discussion they had.
Yeah. But Wesley intervenes and drives the vampire away. At the bronze, although Anya exposes Willow's disguise, Buffy defeats the other vampires and then captures the remaining doppelganger. Anya returns vampiric Willow to her own timeline, where the alternate Oz immediately kills her.
So come back.
The next day, Percy, thoroughly intimidated by Willow's doppelganger and believing that she was the real Willow, shows up for tutoring with all his work completed and makes it clear that he intends to please her from now on. Please don't hurt me.
So you want to go to the bronze? How does that sound?
It's like, I didn't do anything this time, and it just happened.
I love when Willow sees Vampire Willow in the cage. She's like, Vampire me is kind of slutty. And I think a bit gay. It's so good.
Don't get too hot for yourself there.
Could that be foreshadowing? Who knows?
Probably, maybe, because that's where the writing's going, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was another plan in place. We'll get to that eventually.
Ooh.
So what did you guys think of this episode?
On the one hand, the basic premise of everything kind of seems one note, but just with everything that they decided to do with it, it turned out to be one hell of a ride. just to see everything.
I was wondering how long Real Willow would last, just basically playing the role as Vampire Willow.
It's super funny.
Before they find out that it's not Vampire Willow, or they just kind of just get fed up with her bullshit.
We should give them all a 30-second head start.
Yeah, I think after she sent the second vampire out of there, it most likely raised a whole bunch of suspicions.
Yeah, yeah. She obviously wouldn't last terribly long, and she lasted a lot longer than,
It's so funny where she's
should've.
trying to convince them that she's still a vampire. She's like, yeah, no, I want to drink their blood. Promise. It's super good.
Would a vampire do that?
Yes.
Also, wonderful delayed timing for actually coming in to start the fight scene. Good job.
So, for international titles, in French, translates as The Two Faces. In German, Doppelgangland. They added an
Yeah.
Doppelgang.
Well, at least doppelganger is the word.
And in Brazilian Portuguese, The Land of Clones. They were smoking some good shit, apparently.
Okay.
Because there's literally no clones.
There's only... Well, it's not really a clone. It's just Willow from an alternate...
dimension.
Yeah.
I think it's more so the fact that they don't have a decent enough translation for what they have in that sort of language.
I guess so. I mean, another person of the same person, they could see as a clone in that definition, even though it's not exactly a clone. It's a doppelganger.
Well, and technically they're different species. Like,
Yeah.
one's human, one's vampire.
Yeah. Even though it's the same person.
Kind of. I love what they're like, oh, don't worry, Willow. So, when you become a vampire, your personality is completely changed. Angel's just like, well, actually...
Angel.
Yeah.
You know what? Never mind.
Does Angel know more than he lets on?
Well, he did go through it twice.
No, he only became a vampire once.
Ah,
He had his soul restored twice.
yeah.
But now...
That line is going to take on a totally different meaning come season 6.
All the boredness.
Well, at least that line did come up again randomly.
Yeah, and it will not be nearly as much fun when it's said then.
Also,
Okay.
I don't think we had a chance to talk about it last time, but the thing that happens with Cordelia and Wesley. Which, on the one hand, I understand for what you said in the last couple episodes.
2 words. Jail bait.
Pretty much.
That's one word, though.
I know.
I know, it's trust me, this is only going to get better.
Better in the decent sense or better in the oh dear God sense?
No, yeah, better in the indecent sense, obviously.
They are going to have a long and interesting relationship that will continue for many years on Angel.
I wouldn't be
course.
too surprised from what you described and what I was sort of seeing. It's like, oh man, they're going to have a field day with this an Angel, aren't they?
Yeah, because both of them are going to end up there next season. Actually, Wesley won't, but Cordelia will.
But yeah, still has those watcher duties, I'm supposing.
Well, we'll see. So, if there's nothing else about this episode, next week we'll be talking about the episode Enemies. Sounds cheery.
I think you forgot the music in this episode.
Oh, you're right, I did.
Uh,
So we actually did have some music in this episode.
There was one song in this.
There was actually 2.
Oh, it was two?
yeah, there was a performance by one of them. The other song was a different one.
So
okay.
the
At least one.
first song I have listed here is by Kay's Choice, which is called Virgin State of Mind, which is what's playing when Vampire Willow enters the bronze.
Ah, yes.
And then there is another song called by Spectator Pump, 10 on 10 name,
Okay, then.
called Price to Move, and that plays at another time in the bronze. And then obviously there's Christoph Beck doing the original score. So, enemies next week. Faith is going to attempt to seduce Angel and steal his soul, and the mayor is going to summon a demon to finish the job.
Fun!
Yep.
That sounds like more fun. More Angel's soul stealing.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, just gonna give me all the oh dear God tension feelings.
Well, I'm sorry, Dave, but it's not going to get less tense between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
would not
only
be too
going
surprised.
downhill from here now.
No, I'd say more so in a spiral.
So, after Enemies, we're going to get to an episode called Earshot. And that was going to be a... How do I phrase this? That is going to be an interesting episode to talk about. Because it's, well, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Duly
Spoilers, we
noted.
haven't seen it yet.
Let's just say it was shelved for a number of months because of similarities to real-world events.
Oh.
Well, what happened in 1999?
We'll talk about it when we get to that episode. It's not going to be cheery. It's not like there's an episode where Demon was giving out candy and stuff to everyone.
Oh, boy.
So, if that's it from both of you,
I believe so.
I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
I'm Justin.